What's up guys, Jason Cardamone here. We're here at day 17 of the 90-day challenge, DS Domination Genesis, FBA, cranking to 10,000 a month within 90 days from nothing, starting from nowhere. As of right now, I have still not sold a single item on Amazon, but I would bet my life within the next 7 days, probably within the next like 72 hours, 48 hours or so, I will have sold my first item. And that's because first shipment went out, I don't know, it's on here somewhere, right here. Print Amazon label, so that was actually from yesterday. This list I actually put up here, I think I put this up here on the 16th. And we're here like midday on the 18th. So I know it's been a few days, I think it's been 4 days since my last video, which is amazing. I'll kind of summarize the last 4 days. This is most of the last 2 days here. I've really been wobbling back and forth. First of all, it's all around selling on Amazon, so that's definitely the consistent business theme here. But I've been wobbling back and forth between drop shipping versus just FBA, fulfillment by Amazon. And I know we started off this whole thing, it was just gonna be FBA and Genesis. And I really have some good opportunities, some people that are doing some big things with drop shipping, and there's good and bad to both. And actually we'll even talk about that a little bit, but that's really been my theme basically for the last 4 or 5 days here. It's Wednesday today, and somewhere around Saturday or Sunday, I started talking to some people, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna focus more here. No, more here, more here, more here. And I'm like, it's like the good and the bad angel sitting on your shoulder. I don't know which one's good or bad, but that's this whole process of, kind of going back and forth. So what has happened beyond the wobbling around it, that I want to step back and share with you guys something that's really been a big help and a big impact in my life. And I'm actually going to take my shoes off because I can see my head's like about to get chopped off the camera here. I usually talk to you guys around here, and I think your head's supposed to be about 2/3 up the screen, so like right around here somewhere. Should be about my eyes, like around here. Probably wearing like giant running shoes right now. But so confusion and frustration always precede a breakthrough. And I wanted to share that with you guys because there's been all kinds of confusion. What is wobbling? Now I'm like totally crooked because I have one shoe on. But when I'm talking about drop shipping and FBA and going back and forth, or finding the blend between the two and how they can work with each other, that's confusion. It's me not having a clear path. It's me being confused as to which direction I should head down first. And then we have frustration, for sure. There's been, I don't like not having my exact goal set. I don't like being 17 days into a 90-day challenge and not have generated my first dollar out of it yet. We're just looking around selling on Amazon basically is kind of what this has started to turn into. I can include some of the money I think I shared with you guys, some of my affiliate sales. Really, I think we set a new record. I had a new 1-day record. We set a new 30-day record for sure. And that's all showing up here in the next between 1 and 3 weeks, all of that stuff shows up. So that's really cool, but we're not counting that towards the brand new 10,000 month stream of income that we're driving for. So it's been frustrating. I don't have more clarity right now. And so that's part of what these last, I hate to say 4 or 5 days have been, but parts of them, not all of them, parts of them have been me kind of stepping back, retooling, re-looking at what the heck did I even start doing this for? What are my goals? What do I want to do? What do I not want to do? What have I been doing? And I just thought of something that's not even, is it here? It's actually not on the board here. So I'll talk about that real fast because it's in my head. You know what, I better write it down because then I'll put it right down here. And that's the, what's it called, like drop shipping sourcer. Drop shipping sourcer. So basically, you guys know I hired somebody, I think it was around a week ago. I honestly haven't checked the dates. And I basically hired them to do 70 hours of work at about $1 an hour for the next week. And we actually changed it to be just like a week, you know, put in 70 hours, the next 7 days, I'm gonna pay you $70. Well, they put nowhere even remotely close to 70, not even close to half of that in. And part of it is they had a few family things come up. Part of it is wasn't realistic in the first place to ask them to work 70 hours. Another part was they weren't using the tracking mechanism correctly because it was their first time in one of the outsourcing places I'm using. So now we don't have an accurate timesheet for them. So it's just a huge disaster so far. So, and that person was hired for the dropshipping side of the business to basically do research, find sources of items and put them on a spreadsheet. And, you know, for part of it, they were like, well, you know, this is boring, can I get something else? And I'm like, okay, how is anybody, it's not even the first week over, they're already bored, and I expect them like for the next like many months to just crank out hundreds of really highly profitable items. So there's a lot of factors there that are kind of pointing towards they're probably not the right person for the job. They might be as well because they are taking initiative in certain areas, but they're also going kind of outside of what I'm paying them to do right now. And they're trying to like do all this stuff, but we don't even have the income producing activity, you know, enough items to be listed there. So so that has to be addressed. You know, and I was just about ready to hire another 1 or 2 people to source items as well. And then I could have like 2 or 3 people competing and kind of looking at like, oh look, the person I have is the best one. The other 2 are, you know, not doing anything. Or one of the new people just blow everybody else away. And I'm like, that's the person to keep for this particular job. So the person that I hired might be good at other parts of the business. They've actually done drop shipping before, so I know they have the bigger picture. I know they can do, you know, everything needed to make money as a drop shipper. So anyway, that's something that has to be kind of sorted out, but I've definitely spent some time with them, and I've invested probably a little bit too much of my time in the past week with them before I had more results coming back. But I like their heart and where I like their character. So even the results are what I would call far less than stellar right now. The results actually, based on some numbers, I got some other numbers from people in my group. The results so far are approximately, what, 10 to 14 hours worth of work. Not 70. And I don't know if it's supposed to be 70 yet, but it should be at least be 50 hours by now. I know at maximum there's a few days left. So, so anyway, that's something I have to sort out in the coming days here, and I'm giving them time to figure out, you know, what's happening with the family and all that kind of, they have a family member with heart problems and stuff like that. So, like a cousin, so they're off helping out with family things, which is totally fine, this stuff happens. And so I'm gonna see what pans out, you know, how much time they're taking away, how much work they end up doing, when we end up actually ending our week, all that kind of stuff. So a little gray area around that right now. But I have spent time there, I wanted to share that with you guys. So that person could actually be converted into finding profitable items for FBA. They could help me do research for my first FBA project, and I may give them a little training and convert them down that road. There's a lot of options there. Maybe research isn't their bag of tricks, and maybe we'll have them do something else down the road. So we'll see what happens with all that. On top of that, I had 2 other outsourced projects all happening at the same time, and these both started, I believe I started them on the same day, and I probably look like a flake to these people because I was working with this outsourcer, trying to start this project, trying to start this one, And I'm doing all my normal family and business stuff on top of 3 outsourced projects on the same day. So basically it was crazy, but the good news is this one's completely done. This one, I just sent off the final stuff. It's basically done. So one of them was to get me an Amazon seller logo designed for me. Excuse me guys, my nose is like super itchy. So getting the logo designed, I actually hired 2 people for that. I'm kind of looking at all their designs and just gonna choose whichever one I like the most and just go with it. I'm not gonna overanalyze it. They're not perfect, but they're a lot better than just a text of my store written there. So that's cool. Got that little project. That's basically out of the way now. This one, there's an income source I have that represents, you know, I don't know, I think it's like $1,000 to $2,000 a month for most months, and the entire income stream was about to be taken away by PayPal if I didn't get a technical issue fixed. So I hired a guy to get all that addressed, and I believe it's fixed because I haven't got the warnings from PayPal since then. So that's totally cool. That project I think is completely done already, so I shouldn't have to worry about that any year soon. Let's see. Printed Amazon labels. So you guys may have seen yesterday I sent off my first order. I was actually wearing this shirt. I purposely put this shirt back on. It's one of my favorite shirts, and this is the first time I've ever worn it. Well, yesterday was. So I wanted to wear it for today's video. Partially because when you wear a white shirt with a white background, weird stuff happens with the camera lighting. Partially because it's just so cool, and I had a bunch of people, I posted some stuff on Facebook and a bunch of people were tagging YOLO, you only live once here. So anyway, I was like, dude, people love this and they've never seen me in this shirt. So I wanted to wear it just for this special video today. So back to the whole point, got my first FBA order sent off. It contained a total of, I think it was 66 items. It may have been 48. I don't remember all the details. I can tell you that there were 4 packages with total weight of 41 plus 12, 53 pounds, or maybe about 54 pounds worth between the 4 boxes. So that's how much stuff I just sent in my first order. And that stuff was all sourced over the past like week and a half or so from local stores, from about 5 or 6 local stores. It took way too long to process and get out, and that's because I had never gone through the process. So my mom, my assistant, was ready to like do she was like, okay, let's get these boxes packed up like a week ago. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And like, oh dude, we have to label every item. And then it takes like a 3 or 4 day process to finally find out, oh, Amazon can actually do the labeling for you. What? It's only 20 cents per piece, sweet. So 66 items times 20 cents a piece, it's like 33 bucks. So it's like 22 bucks. Dude, you got it, Amazon. There you go. Problem solved. It took 3 days to solve a $22 problem. It's ridiculous. So, so anyways, there's little things like that that have really gotten in the way. What's really cool is moving forward now that I can now process our next order like immediately. Like we can turn the whole thing in less than 24 hours. And if we wanted to, we could turn it within like an hour if we felt like we needed to get it off that day. So that's awesome. You know, part of this whole thing, you have to learn the skills, and then you move forward and you get more efficient at things. And so I will continue to source some local items, and in fact, over all those items I just mentioned to you guys, I don't remember how many we actually sent in, but I know that we have a whole box full of returns that go back to like maybe 4 out of 5 stores or so. And so we're gonna actually do that tomorrow. We're gonna return stuff that I bought that I was just dumb in buying, that it was gonna make me like $1 if it were to sell, or it was gonna take like 3 years to sell to make me $2. You know, just silly things that I didn't know any better because I've been learning during this process. So we're gonna go return a bunch of stuff, but as we're returning, we haven't been to any of these stores in about a week or so, or most of them in about a week. So there's probably new stuff to source now. So we're gonna go return these items. We're gonna look through real quick and see if there's any good stuff to scan, and really everything's good to scan. We're just going to scan a bunch of stuff while we're there and use the judgment that we've been learning, you know, what's good and what's bad over these weeks. So probably the best thing I found was an iron, like a, you know, like clothes iron, electronic, higher end thing. They sell for $79 all day long. They actually sell every day, more than once a day for $79 right now on Amazon. So really high rank, they sell like crazy. So I found one of those at a clearance aisle at a Walmart, and I got it, and the tags on it, it was marked for like $29. And I was like, I ran all the numbers, I'm like, sweet, this will make me money for sure. You know, it's worth like 25, 30 bucks in the end. So I was like, that's awesome. Go take it to checkout, and she rings it up separately, and it rings up for $7.50. I'm like, sweet. And she can't believe, she's so surprised. She calls over this other gal at work. She's like, check this out, look what they got for $7. Like, so it was like just this amazing deal that I don't know if it was like mispriced, mismarked, but they compared all the numbers. They're like, yeah, this is the right price. So I got an $80 iron for $7.50. By the time we pay shipping and Amazon fees and everything else, it's basically like a $50 bill in my pocket. That's cool. That thing, I would bet, will sell in this first 7 days here. Unless I keep the price really high and I don't try to undercut anybody by $1 or anything, or you know, whatever. I will probably undercut people just to make the sale quickly, because I just want to get some sales. And part of that is, I realize, you know, I have these 4 boxes on the way to 4 different cities in the US, to Amazon fulfillment centers, FCs as they call them in the industry, I've found out. So they're going to these fulfillment centers, and somewhere in the next week they're going to arrive. Amazon will do whatever they do with them. I actually know what they do, but I'm just keeping it short for you guys. And next thing you know, I'm gonna, you know, I think I get an email when I get a sale. I actually have no idea what happens when you get a sale. I do know somebody in DS Domination Genesis, their first like half of a day when their stuff got there, they sold 7 things the first day, like 7 items. They were super excited about it. I have no idea, I haven't interviewed them yet. I stress yet, because I've interviewed 3 people in the past week as well. All recorded, all right on YouTube, good stuff. So anyway, I don't know what they sold, but I know my momentum, my belief, my everything will just build exponentially as soon as I sell the first item. And I don't care if I make a penny on it. I don't care if I lose a dollar or two. And I'm not going to purposely lose money, but I'm talking about when I see, it's not like I have doubts like, oh, does this process actually work? It just builds when you do something yourself. And I looked at all the stuff we've been through, and then I'm going to see money coming in this next, couple weeks for sure. A bunch of money's going to start coming in. It's really going to start getting exciting, because then I can start doing things like, okay, how much did we spend at all the stores? How much have we made in the first 30 days? Did we gain or lose money? How much longer is it going to take till we make the rest? Because some of the stuff may take 6 months to sell. Some of it may not sell until Christmas time, Halloween, Thanksgiving, stuff like that. So a lot of it will have sold before then, because especially the stuff I'm focusing on now, I'll only buy something that's going to take longer, like more than a month to sell, or my best guesstimate, it'll take more than a month to sell. Only if it's going to make me a big profit, way more than 300% of what I paid, like the iron thing. That thing I would have bought in a second, even if it was going to take 6 months. Fortunately, that thing's going to sell like in the first week. That's like, I can find those all day long, it'd be great. So things like that where you pay $7 and you make basically $50, that's a 700% markup. And I'm sharing that with you because we're going to talk about that with the dropshipping world just a second here. But 700%, I want you guys to keep that in mind. Now, let's say I was lucky, because basically let's say it was supposed to be $30, and that instead of 50, I would have only made like, 35 bucks, we'll call it. So I pay 30 to make 35. that's a little bit over 100%. It's like, you know, 120% markup, something like that. I want you to keep that 120% or so, and the 700% I just mentioned, keep those in mind, because we're gonna compare this to drop shipping, which you're gonna see a number like 20% show up there. So I'll show you that in just a second here. So that's a big win to get that off. What I did not get to do enough of, or any of, let me correct my language, I didn't do anything with Craigslist. I did communicate with some people from some stuff from last week that they were gonna come buy it or whatever, and we just didn't come to terms quite yet. I am, you know what, I'm gonna make a note here. Relist on, I'm either gonna relist on Friday or Saturday this week. And what that means is that on Craigslist, when you click relist on a thing, your stuff shoots right up to the very, very top, so it's right in people's face. So I've noticed, like, we have this giant TV, it weighs like, I think 150, 200 pounds or so. And every time I click relist on the TV, we have 2 to 3 people ask about it within the first day. And then maybe one more the next 2 or 3 days, just one, and then nothing after that. So I've also noticed on the weekends, obviously, because people aren't at work, they're more likely to be around. So I'm gonna relist on Friday afternoon, like when people are getting off work, or Saturday morning. And I know there's gonna be a way better chance we'll sell some of the stuff on there this weekend. Also, if I get some of the new stuff up there, like washer and dryer and some of the stuff we have in our garage, if I get it up there in the next 48 hours, then we have a really good chance to sell it this weekend too. So I haven't made any progress, not at all, because I've been focused on all this other stuff. Right here, do more research. I actually spent an entire morning, oh, by the way, guys, I do feel like I've got a little more sleep lately. I don't know how many hours, but maybe 5 or 6 hours a night on average. But I have been. I want to show you guys this real quickly. Where the heck are my gallery? There we go. So I've actually been, I'm going to do a video. You guys will probably see it if you're watching this video. Actually, here is, hold on, guys. There you go. So this was from yesterday. You'll notice I'm wearing the same shirt. Oh, hold on. Gotta get all these. I'm gonna have all these stupid reminders get in the way. Nope, dismiss. Hold on, guys. I have this reminder thing that runs my life, and it drives me crazy when they pop up all day long. So here's a picture from my phone. Those are the 4 boxes that went out yesterday. And you'll notice I'm in the same shirt like I was saying here. And here's what I wanted to show you. That's great. They're not here. Here they are. So this, I'll just show you guys this view right here. These are the last 7 mornings, the times I've got up. Notice how they range from between, what is that, 3:57 a.m. and what, 5:37 maybe? 5:57. And the earliest was actually 3:24 a.m. So that's when I've been up every morning for the past 7 days. You can see the little date at the bottom of each one of those. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17th, and the 18th, which is today, which I got up at 5:37 today, my second latest time this entire time. These are all natural. Obviously, I don't set my alarm for random weird times. Maybe I am that crazy. I set my alarm for weird times and then just take pictures for you guys. No, it's not like that at all. I wanted you guys to see that. I am still extremely charged up. This is really this giant period of momentum this past few weeks here. The past couple days though have felt like a little, because I don't have that clarity over exactly what I'm doing, I haven't been able to completely focus down and just be like, dude, we're driving around stores for 8 hours a day and sourcing things locally. If I knew that was the exact plan to get me to $10,000 a month, I would go do that. I don't believe that is going to happen in the next whatever, 63 days or 73 days. Or I might actually go do that. If I actually thought I could drive around for 10 hours a day and make $10,000 in these next 90 days, that last month, I would go do that. I don't think that's possible. Let me say that again, anything's possible. I don't think it's probable. I don't have anybody to model that's done it. I'm asking people like crazy, doing local sourcing. By the way, it's called retail arbitrage by a lot of people. And I don't know anybody doing that that's making $10,000 a month or more that has done that within like less than a year. There are people making more than $10,000 a month, but it took them a while to build up the inventory and get up to those levels. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys. So I don't believe that is the vehicle to take me to $10,000 a month. I do believe I very well may make $1,000 or $2,000 a month, you know, here in like, basically we started this around the beginning of June, July. So the month of August, I need to make 10,000 extra bucks a month from Amazon FBA. I very well believe 1,000 to 2,000 of that might come from this retail arbitrage stuff I've been doing. I believe the rest of it needs to come from drop shipping or sourcing from US and China. So I did spend a lot of hours one morning checking out all of my US connections, and I have some new connections now I just found out about, so I need to check those out as well. But I didn't stumble on anything that I was like, this is awesome. I found a lot of decent headphones and they make other electronics like that it was a lot of like 60 or 70 random pieces, but it was like 15 headphones and 15 little speakers and 9 of this and 8 of this and all these things. And I went through and looked at pricing on some of the different ones, and by the time I buy them and send them in and do everything with them, I think I needed to spend about 400 bucks, and I would have only made like 500 or so. Now, for some of you, you'd be like, oh dude, I would kill to turn 400 into 500. You know, it's only $100 profit. That's more like the drop shipping mentality. And the other part of that is that process would not have happened in 1 month. It would have happened over several months, because I looked at the sales stats for all 5 or 6 items that was in the lot. So that was like one of the best things I found so far. Now I don't really know what to look for, and I just randomly was looking through, you know, probably 50 to 100 items I did research on. So I definitely need to spend more time in that area, because that's where a bunch of money is. I actually just have a team member, I'll share more when we talk about this in a second. So they just found some stuff to source from China, and I can share with you some of the numbers and what it looks like for them. I'm not going to tell you the item. I'm not going to do the item, because that's not, I'm here as their coach. I'm not going to go compete against them as well. It's not how I roll. So anyway, this is the last part here. I'm going to wrap this up, and let me see what time it is. Yeah, this is about what I thought. We're good. So, and right before I dive into this, guys, I've been extremely consistent with my workouts the past 3 days or so. I've been more healthily balanced in general, where instead of skipping an occasional workout like I've been doing the past few weeks, I've hit all of them consistently. Today I'm actually way behind. It's already 1 whatever, and I have like an hour and 10-minute workout in the gym, which is going to be all hot at this time of day. It's going to be, it's not going to be as fun as it could have been at 8 or 9 this morning, but we were doing stuff. So, so anyway, that, I don't know what the heck I was just, I've been more balanced, and so it helped to kind of recharge some of my, you know, my battery, so to say. I've been more plugged into personal development the last 3 or 4 days. So some of that was lacking, I think, in the last video, like from 3 or 4 days ago, that I probably said, you know, I can't let that go for too long. I've definitely been on track with that stuff. And I've been doing tons of business too, so it's great. So here's what I want to show you guys. So I was looking right here. I was basically looking at doing FBA versus drop shipping and what are the pros and cons and all that kind of stuff. And basically, here's what they are. I don't have a good place to write them. But for drop shipping, and I'm probably not going to edit this video, so you're not going to see words pop up between my fingers here like I would typically do, because that takes a lot of extra time to edit the video. So I'm just going to upload this and get done with it. So on the drop shipping side, basically, it's safer in the sense that you don't ever go to drop ship an item until you've already sold it. So you sell it on Amazon or eBay or wherever, and you already know, you get paid the money basically, and then you go and buy the product and send it out to that person, and you keep the profit. So it's more guaranteed, and the only times you lose money, and you don't really lose money, you just lose some of your time, is if they want to return it. They send it back, you do a refund, give them their portion back, everything, you're just back to where you started, but you didn't lose any money. You did lose time processing the order and then processing the refund. So, or having your staff do that, then you lose money if you have a staff. So that's a good thing about drop shipping. The bad thing about drop shipping is the margins are much lower, like 20%. So we were talking about some of those numbers before, 120 and 700%. Well, drop shipping is like 20%. And here's what that means. For about every $100 you spend drop shipping items, you'll make an additional 20, or you'll make 120 off of 100. Or another way to say it, you'll make $1,200 off of 1,000. So basically, let's say in the next 2 weeks here, I sell $1,000 worth of items as a drop shipper on Amazon. Amazon pays every 2 weeks. So basically I sell $1,000 of items, I pay for the items, I buy the items, I ship them to the customer, here, all over the United States, and I pay $1,000. Like let's say 5 orders of 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, $1,000 goes out of my pocket. That's my cost. On each one of the orders, I make, let's say, 240. So I collect 240, 240, 240, 240, 240. And if you add all that together, and if I did that right, it's supposed to be times 5, it would be $1,200 I've collected. Actually, Amazon collected that and ships out all these, I ship out all the stuff. And then Amazon's like, okay, it looks like all your stuff arrived. Here you go. Here's your $1,200. Well, during those 2 weeks, I had to be out 1,000, but then I get $1,200 back. I'm like, sweet, there's $200 extra here I didn't have 2 weeks ago. That's drop shipping. So it's safer, but the margins are a lot lower. Now, you may think 20% is amazing, and if you do things like the stock market, it is amazing. So anyway, enough said about that for now. So FBA, on the other hand, the margins are typically much, much, much bigger, to the tune of 100%, 300%, 700%, and on and on. So I was running some numbers here based on all these people I've been interviewing and all this stuff I figured out. So basically, I have to remember what the heck I was doing here. Okay, here's an order I was mocking up an order here and pretending that we're gonna get 200 items from China for $5, and that includes shipping. So we're gonna buy 200 items, we're gonna buy them for $5 each. 200 times $5 is $1,000, right? So $1,000 from China. We also, based on, what was my selling price? $30. So actually my numbers are definitely wrong here. I'm actually going to correct these right now. So my selling price, we're going to assume I'm selling them for $30 a piece. Well, Amazon charges approximately 15 cents. And, 15%, 15 cents on a dollar, 15%. So 15% of 30 is $4.50 each. And then there may or may not be a little bit of local shipping in there and some labeling and stuff like that. Let's just say all of that stuff was $2, which is way on the high side. It's definitely not, that's way overdoing it. So we take Amazon's $4.50, we add $2 to it, and actually Amazon would make about 650 right here. So basically, if you buy 200 items and you sell them for $30 each, by the time they're all sold, some things will all sell like in a week, some things will sell like over 6 or 12 months. So by the time you sold all of them, you will have brought in 6,000 new dollars. You will have paid 1,650. So if you, I'm gonna get these numbers wrong here. Actually, I will get them exactly right, because we'll just calculate this, because I want to be pretty exact for you guys. Now I'm kind of doing things in my head, but I want to do this the right way for you guys. So you take 6,000 divided by 1,650. It's 3.63, which is basically a, where's a good, right here is a good place. It's a 363% margin, I'll call, or profit. There's, that's probably the wrong technical definition of margins and all this kind of stuff, but basically what this means is for every $1 you put into the machine, $3.63 comes out of the other end. That's what that means, that number right there. And that's why the calculator said 3.63. So if you want to, I always love looking at things machine. Money goes in, something comes out. Hopefully the other side is a bigger amount. Unlike most of you, if you're trying online advertising and building affiliate programs, you put money in advertising at like $1,000, and what comes out? Maybe a couple hundred, and until you learn what you're doing to spit out tens of thousands. So anyway, so this is awesome, 363%. That's doing Genesis and FBA. So now let's look at the same thing. And actually, so these, let me see, how much should we actually make there? I think that's wrong, guys. You take 6,000 minus 1,650, which was our cost. We make 4,350. And so we take 4,350. We had to pay out 1,650. I'm trying to make sure all my numbers are right, guys. Actually, I think my number's a little off here. This one will be slightly lower. This will be 263 instead of 363. I actually don't know, and I might be off, so maybe this is 263. And I don't want to sit here and think about all the details. Now what's really funny, I have a minor in mathematics and I can't do this basic stuff right now on camera. It's hilarious. So, and the camera has nothing to do with it. I would actually have to sit here and remember, oh yeah, it's this. I don't want to do that. It doesn't matter. I just want you to know, like 200 or 300%. I want you to watch compared to what we're about to show you here. So this was based on, so our profit there was just over 4,000. So to make 4,000 profit with doing drop shipping, you actually are going to be out of pocket over, like in a 1 month period, we'll say, let's say that happened over a month. To make that kind of profit, it doesn't matter if it's over a month or over what period of time, but to make that kind of money in drop shipping, you're going to put out about $20,000 into the machine, and out of this side comes 24,000. So to make 4,000, you have to put in 20. So 20,000 goes in, 24,000 comes out. Well, ask yourself, do you have 20,000 sitting around right now? I've been totally transparent with you guys. We've freed up somewhere around 10 or 12,000 or so. And that's actually new money. That doesn't even include our van anymore. So basically we have around 20-ish thousand now, which is really fine. I didn't plan that out or anything for this scenario. But if we were to make 4,000 in a single month, that month we would have 20,000 out of the door at any point in time. It's also like guaranteed money, which is cool. So if you look at the margins and things on that, that is, these numbers are 20%. And so let's figure out how we do the 20%. We take 24,000 divided by 20,000. It's 1.2. So that's actually the right way to do it. So now, let's do it the backwards way of this. We take 6,000 divided by 1,650. and then we minus 1, it's 2.63. So it is 263, guys. The number's 3.63, but you got to take the 1 off of it. And I just want you guys to look, and now I'm actually gonna have to go prove these numbers just so I can show, I want to show you guys, I want you to realize how much bigger of a game we're talking about playing here with FBA, but let's go back here. So 20% compared, even if right here, compared to 260%, that's a difference of 13 times. It's not 13 times. I don't know what the heck math. Yeah, it is 13 times. Whew. I thought I'm losing it completely there. So it's really, guys, that's the difference of like, it's the difference of making $1,000 a month versus $13,000 a month with the same financial risk. Now here's there's another part of risk, not just the financial. That's not the right word. Let's erase that I said financial risk. I actually don't know what to call it. If you sell all 200 units all day long, we'll do FBA because it's a no-brainer. It's definitely like easier. The problem with FBA comes in, what if you only sell 50 of your units? Then what happens to the margins and everything? Well, you actually still make money even if you only sell 50. If you only sold 50 of these instead of 200, you'd make 1,500. You would still had to buy all of them for 1,000, but then your Amazon fees would be much less because you don't get charged for things that you didn't sell because they don't take their 15% out of stuff you didn't sell. So basically, that would probably be around, let's just say 250. So you make 1,500, you paid $1,250, you still made 250 bucks. But here's the difference. If you can figure out a way to sell those other 150 items, it's just money flying in the door. So you probably have to sell somewhere around 40 or so to break even in that model. Where drop shipping, there's no risk. If you don't sell anything, you never paid anything because you didn't buy the items. You never paid $1 of the 20,000 until you actually sell something. By the way, drop shipping is where a customer orders something from your Amazon store or your eBay store, and then you go out to a cheaper place, buy it, and drop ship it to the customer. And then you're like, hey, I just sent this item to this customer, and here's the tracking number. And then they track, they see the customer gets it, then they pay you for it. They're like, okay, here, you can have the customer's money because you earned it, and we'll keep our fee out of it. PayPal does that with eBay, Amazon does that as well. So, by the way, guys, of Amazon, of all their sales, 40% of their sales are done by basically FBA and third-party sellers. So that is a huge amount of their business that's coming from people like us. So I guess the bad part about that is that if it was only like 5%, we would like have almost no competition. But it does, it's an extremely reliable way for you to build an income doing FBA. Drop shipping, it's pretty much proven. I know hundreds and hundreds of people right now making a ton with it, including me. Maybe not a ton. I could make a ton if I chose that path, but there's also a certain amount of work and things that go into it, and there's a lot more, like you're tracking all these individual customer orders. Where Fulfillment by Amazon, you do all the work, you get the thing there at Amazon, and you're done. You let Amazon sell it for you, basically. You manage the price, you make sure you keep inventory, like when you sell out of these 200, make sure there's another 200 or 2,000 or whatever on the way. So anyway, those are some of the basics. And I wanted to share this with you guys because as I start to look at all this stuff, this is cool because you can create a pretty consistent cash flow, but you have to put a lot of work into it, or you have to hire a staff and you really have to, get them trained well and get them doing what you would like them to do. Whereas FBA, it's more like you put a lot of focus into, do a lot of research, you do a lot of things, and you get this product and you go out and crank things. I told you guys I'd share numbers with you. So someone on my team just found an item that sells for, I think my blue marker's running out here. Let's switch to red for this. So these are just some numbers I was covering. It's our goal. That's always staying up there for. So anyway, so I want to share with you guys some of these numbers. So someone on my team found something that sells for $19.95. It's a small item. It's not going to cost much to ship at all. They found the source for this item, and the source, now it depends on your quantity and stuff, but it was between like $1 and $4, and the minimum order is 50 units. So for 50 units, it's probably going to be around $4. Let's just take that as like a worst case thing. So let's say you pay $4 for 50 units. How much is that? It's 200, right? So you pay $200 for 50 units. And then you have to pay for shipping, you have to do a little labeling or branding, stuff like that. Excuse me. So you pay $4 per unit right here. Wait. It's gonna get all sloppy. $4. So let's say after labeling and branding and everything, let's say you pay another $4. This is like really on the high side, but let's just say, let's actually not say that. Let's say for labeling, branding, shipping, let's say $3, which is still way north of the real numbers. So let's say they cost you $7 to get over to Amazon. So they cost you $7 to get there. So let's forget about this 200 for a minute, because that's just the number you pay to the. So you pay $7 per unit times 50 units, and I'm not going to run the numbers yet, because if you're selling for 20 bucks each, you're also going to pay Amazon $3 per sale. So we're going to add the 3 to the 7. And that's going to cost you 10 bucks to sell one of these things. You're selling them for 20, so basically you're going to make no money on this item, because you sell it for 20, you pay 10 for each. It doesn't make sense. Like it's like, or wait, it doesn't make sense. It does make sense. You have a $10 profit. No, it doesn't, guys. It's break even. I'm losing it. That's right. You're losing like all. It's there. It makes no sense at all. Basically, here's a customer. They pay Amazon a $20 bill. Part of that you've already spent. Amazon keeps another chunk. There's $10 of it left, so you keep the 10 for the unit you just sold, but it cost you 10 bucks to make the unit, so it's break even. There's no money at all when the quantity is this low. Now, as you get more realistic about stuff, the 7's not really 7, it's 6. You could probably buy 100 units at $3 each. All of a sudden we just freed up $2 in profit. Now every time this sells, now we make $2 per one that sells. So we have 100 units there. Now it's a $200 that we're gonna make, and we end up paying about $800 to make 1,000. So now it's pretty close to drop shipping numbers, slightly better. But the cool part is that we're not doing all this thing ourselves. We're just getting the order there, and we're making the money from Amazon. Where it will really get a lot better, when we drive this price down and buy whatever quantity we have to get that pricing of like $1 per unit. Then it's another $2, then we're making $4 per unit sold. And whatever we have to pay to get those quantities. So that means every time you sell a $20 product, you get $4. Now that's still not amazing. This deal would be better if these things were selling for like $30 to $40. This would be good to go for. So that's where I'll share some of this with you guys real quickly here. So there's a coach in the industry that has advised. Now guys, this is a coach you would pay like $3,000 just for the initial like set of coaching sessions, and then you have monthly fees on top of that after your initial fees. Here's the deal, you need to listen. $5 cost should be total of your item cost from China with shipping and everything. To get it into Amazon, shouldn't be more than $5. When you find an item that fits that, they should be selling for a minimum of $30 on Amazon. Now here's the cool thing about this scenario I showed you in red. The things sell for $20. They've sold more than, if I remember the numbers right, more than like 30 to 50,000 units. So the things sell like crazy. They're gonna sell boatloads of them. They could sell their first 50 or 100 like probably within a week or less. So they sell like crazy, right? That's awesome. So basically that's cool, but there's not much money in it unless you get higher quantities and start making $2 to $4, and then money gets back really quickly. That's awesome. So what it would be way better if they could sell these for like 30 or above, because then the money basically goes right back in your pocket here. So if you're doing all that and you set up these numbers like this here, you would be making approximately $20 per item instead of just $4. And the 4 is if you can get these for $1 instead of $4. So I wanted to kind of share that with you guys, that you want to look for things around these numbers as you're sourcing from China. And I'm not just sharing this with you guys, it's me also reminding myself for like the dozenth time or beyond in the past, 17 days or less, I have pounded this into my head like at least once a day. And so it's just a part of, as I'm looking for stuff, oh, the cost is $10. I almost just write it off immediately unless I know I can sell these things for like $100 all day long. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and that's really where I'm at with everything. And so a focus the next few days here is on local sourcing, right? Getting a better feel for the market and local retail arbitrage it's called. And Craigslist thing, probably this is the good weekend to do that. What's next weekend? Next weekend's my birthday. And next week might even be camping. Wait, hold on. Before I say this, I gotta check where my kids are at. You guys down here? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna be quiet about this because my oldest son is down here. There's a place called Waterworld, and my daughter actually just got this crazy skin rash we gotta get cleaned up before we get out in the sun and chlorine all day long. But we're gonna go to Waterworld for a whole day, probably this coming week as soon as my daughter's rash is gone. We are also going camping for at least 2 or 3 days, not more than 3 days, but 2 to 3 days, and we're doing that. We were kind of planning next week. It's usually right around my birthday somewhere. So basically in the middle of the week, next week and the following week, we'll probably do one of those one week and one of those the next week. So anyway, I can talk about her now. There will definitely be time where I'm not just working like crazy. I check my time tracking software, and for the past 2 weeks it's been like, what was it, 77 hours and then 80 hours I believe. And that doesn't track when I'm like out at stores sourcing items, or when, what does it not track? It tracks everything when I'm on a computer or when I'm on my phone basically. So there's only 168 hours in a week, and I've spent half of them on my phone or on the computer for the last 2 weeks. So you could imagine what the real numbers are when I've been driving around stores, scanning items. Like there were entire days that went to that. So at least 15 hours a week doing that, or that and other activities and stuff. So it's extremely fair to say I've been putting in 100 hours a week the past couple weeks. I'm sure it's greater than that. You guys see when I'm getting up every morning. There's not really much other time, but I am spending family time as part of all those hours too. So that will be built into the next couple of weeks. Very specific things we've been planning for a long time. So those are coming up, but that's where everything's at, guys. And so the focus is going to be on sourcing some items locally and researching more in US and China to go after this more. Right now, as far as drop shipping on Amazon, I'm not committed. And I'm sitting here just staring outside because I haven't really put that in words. Even in my own mind, I haven't fully committed to that. By me speaking those words, I'm kind of committing. But notice the weak language, kind of. See, I'm not sure still, but I'm not gonna just crank a bunch of resources into the dropshipping business. Not right this second. I might in an hour from now, in 2 seconds from now. The goal with that was to get it automated, get it going on its own without me doing much. And I haven't had to do much with it besides train the new, the outsourcing, work with him and stuff. But I may go and find some people to help me do some research. And that might be a really cool way to get a lot of research done. And both research as far as finding items to drop ship, but especially finding items in these places that I can sell for a bunch of money. That, I actually love that idea. I'm gonna put some red stars right here. And I'm gonna write because I can give them a very basic set of training. I can give them some very basic numbers like I just shared with you guys here. And I could easily have 5 or 10 items to buy it within the next week or two, easy. Then I get them there, I figure out how they're selling in July, and by August, it's completely possible to make 10,000. So that's actually, I'll tell you right now, that's actually way more exciting to me. Here's why I say that, guys, because what I've learned, it's all in the research when you're doing FBA. And if you don't put in the research, a lot of research, not just looking at numbers like this, you have to look at the history. How long has this item been selling for $19.95? Did it drop to 18? Did it go for 25? How long? What's its whole history for the last 6, 12 months and beyond? What happens at Christmas time with it? What happens so there's a bunch of research into any item, but if I just get people to do some of that and find a bunch of things, and then I can really I'll tell you guys this, if I feel really good about an item and I've done all my research and I'm like, this is a no-brainer, I know this is gonna sell, I will gladly sink 500 to 1,000 in a heartbeat, and even more than that. If I'm gonna be doing numbers like around the 1,000 range, I'd rather have 4 or 5 ones, because maybe I get into one of the 5 markets that, oh crap, I didn't realize this about this market, I'm barely gonna get my money back. Maybe one of the other 4 completely explodes and just 1,000 turns into 10 like that. So anyway, guys, I'm glad I did this video, and it's a little longer than I wanted, but I think I just realized I can definitely do outsourcing videos that help people do some research for me and just go do 100 hours of research in the next week. I'll hire 5 people to go do 20 hours each and just crank this out. I love that idea, I'm doing it. That's the next move, my friends. And I'm probably still going to stores tomorrow because we have to a few return. It's not much, it's gonna probably get like 20 to 30 bucks back off all these returns. But while I'm at the stores, maybe I can find some more little $7 irons that go for 80 bucks or whatever. So it is pretty addicting. I hate driving around doing anything where I'm not just like doing whatever I want at home. I can't just leave $50 bills laying on Walmart shelves or any other store around. So it's pretty cool. It is somewhat addicting. Every time I go in a store now, I'm always like on the lookout, like what's a good deal? So pretty crazy, but that's what's been happening, guys. That's everything. That is day 17. That's actually day 13 to 17. And I've been trying to get to at least doing even days because I like even numbers more than odd. But apparently that's not going to happen because most of the videos in the past 4 or 5 have all been odd days. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. So guys, that's it for now. We'll chat with you soon. To your ultimate success. God bless, guys.